everyone, I'm Chef Susie with Escoffier Online, and today we're going to be exploring some more plating techniques for our desserts, some nice restaurant-style desserts that you can use at work, in the culinary kitchen, or even at home in your own kitchen to dazzle your friends and family. But before we talk about our live session today, our desserts, I wanted to mention the contest just in case someone hasn't heard. We're doing a contest right now in the month of July. For every assignment that you submit and you pass, you're going to receive one entry into a raffle, and we're going to be raffling off a super nice black iPad mini little tablet. They're great. I have one myself. I use it all the time. I love it because it's just big enough and it fits in my purse too. So when I'm on the go and you guys need some help from me, I just have to pull my iPad mini out of my handbag and I'm ready to go. They're super nice. I also use mine for a mobile hotspot if I'm in an area and I can't get a signal on my computer for some reason. It really comes in handy for a lot of different things. So you're gonna love it. And there's a lot of little different accessories you can get for them too. But bring your assignments in, and it's going to bring you closer to graduation. And I also wanted to mention too that for the top 5 students that submit the most assignments, we're going to be giving away 5 Escoffier branded chef jackets, and it's going to have the Escoffier logo on it so you can brand yourself, and we're also going to be embroidering your name on it for you. So keep all that in mind. Keep those assignments coming in. You guys are doing a great job and have a lot of fun with the contest. And we'll be announcing the winners about a week after the end of July. So knowing that, let's get started. We're going to do some plate ups today. Okay, so I've got some cake that I made. It's just a devil's food sponge cake. I put the ganache from the assignment, your second assignment if you go in order. And I put some ganache on top. And I also put some ground up pistachios on here. And this is just going to add a little bit of crunch to the dessert and some nice color as well as flavor. And the cake itself, I flavored it with some almond, and I put some amaretto in the ganache. I just substituted a little bit of the cream for some amaretto. So we have a nice chocolate amaretto with a little pistachio crunch. Super simple cake to make. And we're going to be doing a couple of plate up presentations with this cake. So let's get started. We're going to start out real simple. Remember last week when we were talking about different ways to present your sauce and we talked about the flood? Well, this is just a real easy way to present one of your desserts by using the flood method. So what I'm going to be doing is, I think that chocolate would go really nice with this cake. So I'm just going to be putting kind of a ring Hi everyone, I'm back. We had a small technical problem. Sorry about that. So we're gonna finish up with our round plated dessert. So I thought that I would just kind of keep with this little bit of a round theme that I have going on. I've got my round plate. I'm going to be doing some dotting, and I'm also using a round cake. So what I did is I took my cake and I just cut it with one of the ring cutters from the toolkit, or if you don't have the toolkit, any ring cutter will do. You can also cut these in different sizes, whatever you have. And I cut it, and then what I did is I picked it up and I pushed it up through the top, because you have the ganache on there and you don't want to get your fingerprints or your fingers stuck in it. So super easy to do, just push it up through the top. So just takes a little bit of patience, so always take your time when you're doing these things. Okay, so we're just going to be doing some dotting on this dessert. Okay, I kind of like to start out with some bigger ones, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of going just a little bit smaller, kind of going a little bit around the plate. So super easy. It's a really nice effect. And also we're going to be putting just a little bit of whipped cream on here, and maybe some strawberry, or even some little bit of fresh mint, kind of pretty much whatever we have. So I've got some strawberry here, which is some nice red color to the plate to add a little bit of contrast. And then I'm just going to be putting another little piece of mint for some nice color. And we have a question.
Is cake and chocolate recipe on the database?
This recipe, the question is the chocolate cake recipe on the database? It's the Devil's Food cake recipe that we've used in the past, but we'll be sure to post it again for you. Any Devil's Food cake recipe will work. It's nice because I flavored it too. So this is a super simple, very elegant, kind of clean looking dessert. You can add some other things to the plate if you like, but I just kind of wanted to keep it kind of simple and kind of clean. Okay, so we've got our square with our flood, our round with our dottings. There are some great ideas for you guys to use when you're presenting your desserts. And the next one that we're going to be making, we're going to be doing it on the long plate, and it's going to be just a little bit more of a composed dessert. And what we're going to be doing is I've got some bananas, and we're going to caramelize the bananas the same way that we did for some of the red velvet cupcakes in the beginning of the program. And then we're going to be making kind of a little bit of a bed for the dessert with the caramelized bananas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting these kind of thin, because you're going to want the dessert to actually sit on the bananas without tipping or falling over. And you're going to want to, when you're caramelizing these bananas, you're going to want to put them on a surface that's not going to affect the flame. You don't want to do this on your cutting board because you can get burn marks on it. So either a tray or a plate like I'm doing here. So we're just going to be putting a little bit of granulated sugar on the bananas. We're going to caramelize these with our blowtorch. You can also do this under the broiler at home if you don't have a blowtorch, same way that you're going to caramelize the sugar on top of your creme brulees. And do we have any questions? We have a question.
What is the flavor of the red sauce?
What is the flavor of?
The raspberry sauce.
The flavor of the raspberry sauce, I just used the raspberry sauce from the program. It's just raspberry puree with some simple syrup. You can add extracts to it for different flavors. You can add a little bit of blackberry if you want it to be just a little more purple in color. Some vanilla, even vanilla bean. But this is just a straight raspberry sauce from the program, one of your assignments. Okay, so I've got my blowtorch on kind of a low flame, and I'm just going to be caramelizing these bananas. The sugar on top is turning nice and brown. This is a nice effect. It's going to give it a super nice color as well. And remember to do this on a flame-safe surface. The pan works out fine. I just happen to have this little plate here, so I'm using this. Just kind of go over it. You're going to see it blobble. You're going to see it turn a little bit brown. If you're doing this at home or in a restaurant, this is something that you're going to want to do to order, because keep in mind your bananas are going to be turning brown. So just take a few minutes, and if the servers are waiting for their dessert, you want to do it quickly, but you can also remind them that all good things take time. Okay. So we've got our caramelized bananas. Be careful when you're picking these up. The sugar kind of hot. And I'm doing this on a long plate. So we're going to be putting some ice cream on here as well. Okay. So we have a nice little bed of banana, and you can even do little discs of banana that are caramelized. This is just a really super nice touch for dessert. So what we're going to do is I have one of my cakes cut in a square, and I'm just putting it on top of this bed of banana. So it's a super nice look. Be very impressed. And it tastes delicious too. So that's a nice thing about it. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to do the brush effect next that we did last week. And you can dip your brush in a little ramekin with caramel sauce, or you can pipe it on the plate. Last week I showed dipping the brush, so this week I'm going to show piping the sauce on the plate. And we're going to kind of drag it around with the brush. So this is just a super cute composed dessert. So you kind of want to get your chocolate sauce in there. And this time I'm just kind of doing it in a little bit of an arc. And it doesn't need to be perfect. You don't have to fuss over it too much, but it's super pretty presentation. So nextly, we're going to be putting some ice cream on the plate. So when you put an ice cream on a plated dessert, you're going to want to put a little bit of cookie crumb down first. I just have a little bit of a peanut butter cookie that made earlier. And you're going to want to put down a little bit of crumbs. This adds a little bit of flavor. Gives it a little bit of nice look, a little bit of crunch, and mostly it stops the ice cream from sliding around the plate, especially if the kitchen is warm. You can really have some problems with these ice creams sliding around the plate. So keep that in mind. And I've got some caramel ice cream, which I thought would go really nice. And I've got a small scoop. We're just going to put a little scoop. Ice cream is super nice complement to most every dessert. And when you're in a finer restaurant, you're going to see your desserts served with ice cream often. So you're going to want to get, got some caramel in here. I want to get a nice scoop of ice cream. So it's a super cute plated dessert. Next, we're going to be finishing this off with a little bit of mint, some whipped cream, a little bit of apricot as well. So I've got a little bit of whipped cream and a little bit of more fresh mint. We've got some fresh mint from the garden today, so it's super beautiful. Nice little effect. They had some good apricots. And when you're getting your garnishes for your desserts, if you're going to be using some fruits, or even for some of your assignments, when you go to the market or to the store, always pick the best ones. Like if you had your heart set on strawberries and they just don't look good, get something else that's red, like maybe some raspberries or even some blackberries. So keep that in mind. You're always going to want to go with the freshest quality. So we're just going to put a few apricots on the plate to dress it up a little bit. I kind of like to stand these up, these little wedges, and then you can kind of lay a few down too. So it's a nice little contrast, a little bit of orange color. So this is super cute plate up presentation. It's kind of a composed dessert, and you'll be sure to dazzle your friends and family with this one. Okay, so we've got one more. And I know we've been doing everything on the white plate, and I kind of want to do something just a little bit different here. So this is kind of a slate plate. You're going to see these are really in style right now. It's super beautiful, kind of rustic but elegant presentation. I highly recommend these if you find them somewhere on sale. They can be a little bit expensive. I actually found this one on a clearance rack, and I've seen them long as well. They look super beautiful with these composed desserts. So try your slates. You're going to like them if you get one. You'll be sure to dazzle your friends and family with this because it's kind of a little bit more of an updated modern look. So I've got my last piece of cake. And what I did is I took one of my squares and I cut it in half. So we're going to have a triangle effect. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay this down, and it's okay, some of these little crumbs are going to come off, but that's nice. Looks super beautiful. We're going to be piping some whipped cream on here too. And what's nice about these slates is there's not a rim on them. So there's a little bit of edging, and it just really, to me, it just makes them all the more elegant. So we haven't used our caramel sauce at all yet today, so we're going to be using our caramel sauce. And we're going to be doing a little bit of the flood again, but we're going to be kind of whisking the two sauces together. So I've got my caramel and my raspberry. And they really show up nice on this slate plate. I'm going to reinforce my raspberry by putting another dot of it over here. Okay, and we're just going to swirl these two sauces together. Kind of a cute, different type of a look. I've got another little sprig of fresh mint. And does anyone have any questions on anything so far? I'm going to put a little bit of mint on our plate. And we're going to put some strawberry quarters. And practice cutting your fruits in different shapes and sizes. The strawberries are nice to cut in discs too. And I like the effect of the quarters, and you can even cut them in dices too if you're pretty patient with them. We're just going to be sprinkling our strawberries around the plate. I'm going to put one by our whipped cream. And these are our 4 plated desserts for today. And thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, be sure to send me an email or give me a call. And don't forget about the contest. You have until the end of the month. It's exciting. Chef coats are beautiful. The logo is very authentic. And the iPad mini is nice as well. So we'll see you next week. We're going to be doing some more plate ups. Give me a call if you have any questions or need any help. And have a great day. And we'll see you next time.